going to call a timeout here, and I want to bring in one of those 21 Democratic members of Congress who signed that letter today telling Columbia's Board of Trustees it is time to end the encampment. Come on in, Congressman Greg Landsman of Ohio, joining us live here on the Hill. Congressman, thanks for being with us. Appreciate the time. You've been listening to some of this. Your thoughts, sir?
My overarching thought is that adults are failing these kids. Adults across the board. So politicians have failed these kids, administrators have failed these kids, the faculty coming out and doing what they did today, they're failing these kids. It is really important for the adults to keep everyone safe, which they can't do unless they get rid of these encampments, and to help educate folks to understand the difference between free speech and hate and dangerous speech, the difference between protesting and chaos, the First Amendment versus Title IX, so that kids understand that they can protest, but they can't do it like this because you can't keep them safe and you can't keep other students safe.
So I mentioned you were one of these nearly 24 Democrats who wrote to Columbia University saying essentially that the Board of Trustees need to resign if the encampment situation there doesn't end. Here was part of your letter. You say, quote, "Those who violate the law cannot dictate the terms of the university's ability to comply with the law. It is past the time for the university to act decisively, disband the encampment, and ensure the safety and security of all its students. The time for negotiation is over. The time for action is now." To be clear, sir, you know this, but for our audience watching us here on NewsNation and listening to us on SiriusXM, you are a Democrat. You heard Mike Johnson, obviously the top Republican here in Washington, say that the president needs to go, and I'm more interested on this idea of maybe Congress jumping in and yanking some of the federal funding. Are you with the speaker there as it relates to federal funding?
No, not yet. I don't think we're there yet. I mean, the fact of the matter is that the administration did say you have till 2 p.m. today to the students. Please leave, grab your stuff, go home. If not, you're going to get suspended. And that was the right decision. And they do need to suspend these kids if they're not willing to leave, and then get them off campus, and they can protest, off this piece of private property, so that everyone else, and it's the vast majority of students at Columbia and across the country who just want to go to class, who just want to go to school, who just want to hang out with their friends. So this has to get resolved today. Tomorrow, it just has to get resolved.
Lastly, sir, do you believe that Columbia has violated its Title IX obligations?
I don't know. I mean, this is where I think as adults we have to de-escalate, and so I do want my colleagues to do everything they can to help the administrators. What we said in that letter was, hey, go do this. It's time. If you can't do it, step down, let someone else do it, so that kids can get back to living their lives and going to school and graduating. But I don't want to see members of Congress further inflame things. This is a moment of de-escalation and trying to get Columbia and others to do the right thing to resolve this so that kids can go back to their normal lives. And if they want to continue protesting, do so, but do so in a different, more productive, safer way.
Congressman Greg Landsman from the state of Ohio, one of the 21 Democrats who signed on to that letter today. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.